Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
And we're back, man. Episode 183. All right, man. Let's get right into it. I had to double check that. I forgot the fucking number of the episode. Oh, yeah. All right. The Met Gala. I don't know how many people are familiar with this event, but it's basically, if I had to narrow it down, it is a Halloween costume party for adults with a lot of money. That's how I see it. But I guess it's a benefit also. They do like what do you call it, like charities and whatnot also. And the tickets go for like $30,000 to $35,000 per ticket. It's really odd, man. To me, I look at it as like this elitist event where a bunch of people come with weird looking shit on. You got Frank Ocean came and showed up with a green baby, a robotic green baby.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian had a black face on.
That's funny.
Yo, why did A$AP Rocky look like a box of fucking cereal?
Yeah.
A$AP, man, they did change his name to A$AP Crunchy. This motherfucker looked like Captain Crunch's nephew. Never seen no shit like that. This guy looked like, and I guess he was wrapped in some scarf or blanket. It was like a fashionable blanket. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, what's up with these people? And then there was who was another one that came up?
Zoe Kravitz was dang near naked.
Yeah, she was naked. Fucking what's her name from? Was it Megan? Was it Megan Fox? Yeah, Megan Fox was basically naked.
I don't think I've seen her outfit.
Yeah, she was up there. It's just to me because I'm from the outside looking in. We don't understand it. I guess it's considered this high fashion thing too.
Yeah, I wouldn't even consider it high fashion. It is high fashion in a sense, but I think that it has a part of its they have a nickname as part of it, like a costume, like deem it as like a sort of costume party. Right. So the average person on Twitter or whatever, they're going to make fun of A$AP Rocky, or they're going to make fun of Frank Ocean or whatever the case may be, but that's the nature of the event. It's not supposed to be like a black tie event. It's supposed to be wear the most outlandish thing you can to this event, because like that's kind of what it's grown into. It would be different if it was like the Grammys or something, and some people do show up to like the Grammys with like these kind of very outlandish outfits, but that event is almost like, yo, who can wear the craziest thing to this event? And even like a guy like Chadwick Boseman, the year before he passed, when he went, he had like this almost like a cape or something on. Yeah. But it was all white and had like crosses and different emblems and stuff on it. Yeah. And even that would be considered a little bit like out there, but that's just the nature of the event. To the average person, like we got shorts on and a t-shirt doing a podcast, so we're not even really so far away from our realm. Yeah, but for me, it's like I'm not the fashion police in any capacity, but to me, it comes off as this elitist event because they literally will take. Like they said, this dress took 4,000 hours to create. This dress took 17,000 hours. It was put together one piece at a time, one bead at a time to make this dress. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And then there'll be like 8 women holding the dress as the ladies walking up the stairs. It's like, dude, get out of here. This took 30 slaves to put together. Yeah, about 30 black children slaves got together. It took 45 Indonesian slaves. Right after their 32-hour shift from making iPhones, they put this dress together. This took 6 Mexicans to put together. Oh, you said 6? Idiot. It's crazy, man. Like, it's just weird to me that. And another thing too is like what's funny is we live in hypocrisy. Like the iPhones, like these iPhones are being put together by kids that are basically child slaves that are putting these phones together. Yeah. And somebody will be tweeting from that same phone like, we need to stop sex trafficking. We need to stop we need to stop the child labor laws and all of this. And it's like, yo, you are using a phone that is built by kids who don't have a choice. Do you think we can live? You had a Joe Biden moment for a second. Well, I want to articulate myself, but do you think we can live life, at least in America, without being hypocritical in that sense? Like,
No, we can't. We're all hypocrites to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. All of us are. But I just think that when people stand on this moral high ground to say, this
when
is
you're
wrong.
so extreme,
right?
Yeah, that's when you start to look bad.
Right. It'll be like, I don't know, some protest. It'll be like some feminist there with her hair shaved off, but she doesn't know that the trimmers that she used were made by child slaves.
Yeah.
Right. Like nobody really is cognizant of all the things that that they indirectly support that oppress other people. Right. But no. And then to go into that, AOC was there and she had a dress that said tax the rich.
Yeah.
Right. And she got a lot of shit for putting that up there. And I told Keith, I was like, yo, what was the point of putting that on there? You show up to an event that costs $30,000 to $35,000 to get a ticket to put tax the rich, right, on the fucking dress. Surrounded by rich people.
Yeah.
Surrounded by rich people. Not only that, the dress was, you mentioned it actually too. The dress was made by the designer, and you said that she owed a lot of taxes.
Yeah, like $130,000 in taxes.
So you got this expensive dress with tax the rich on it.
Yeah, you can't. That's the thing. We have to be extremely mindful of, I guess, our own skeletons, right?
Right.
So when you see a person like AOC and she's kind of, and I'm sure they came together as a collaborative, like, yo, the dress would be amazing if it had this huge statement on the back, on the back of my ass, where it was just like tax the rich, and the is kind of near my crack, and then the taxes. I'm just like,
tax my ass.
But it's like, you know, they probably had this conversation about it, and the designer knows in the back of their mind that they owe $100,000 worth of taxes that they haven't paid. So it's just like, we just gotta be aware, and that's the danger of having these extreme point of views.
Yeah.
If you were that same person and you made the dress without the text on it, then everything would be like, it may not even have made news, but people are so. The tax information wouldn't have made news. Or the tax information would have made news.
Go ahead and continue. I'll elaborate later.
I think that if the only reason they even dug up that information is because when people make statements like that, they're going to look for a chink in your armor.
Exactly.
So as far as that designer goes, or whomever, like the people sitting on the internet, there's people that just they look at statements and then they look for these, like I said, these chinks in the armor. So they're going to say, okay, AOC has this thing. Oh, let me look at AOC's tax records. Let's see if she's paying taxes. Okay, let's see how much money she made over the course of the last couple of years. Okay, she's solid. All right, let me look at the designer. Oh, what's her name? Said, okay, blah, blah, blah. Let me look at her tax records. Let me look at, because you could look up like people's businesses and stuff online. So I'm sure there was somebody probably doing
she makes expensive
due
dresses
diligence.
Too.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think we just got to be aware of like our statements and how, you know, how they can be perceived, and also we got to be aware of our own hypocrisy.
Yeah,
because I'm sure she's not gonna make no statement or rebuttal about that tax situation.
No. Here's the thing too. In regards to her, like I feel like AOC had to put that message on there because she deals with underserved communities. So that's gonna look bad to her base. Because if she's showing up to a place that's got $35,000 or $35,000 tickets, they're gonna be like, "Why the fuck are you there?" Right? So making this political statement kind of aligns with how she'll be viewed by the people who support her. If you just show up to there with a dress on, they're gonna be like, "Wait, don't you serve underserved communities? What are you doing around all these millionaires?" Yeah. Like Rihanna is there. She's a fucking billionaire.
Yeah.
And look, if I'm Rihanna and I see you with a dress that say tax the rich, I'm thinking like, girl, stop. You know, like, but the thing too is we got this illusion that the rich aren't being taxed. Like the only rich people, there are rich people that know the tax codes and how to get around them, and they got lawyers and people that do that job. But guess what? Me and Keith are more liberal than anything, and we don't want to pay taxes.
Yeah, tax the rich, the statement is too vague. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
First of all, when a rich person purchases a car, when a rich person purchases groceries, whatever the case may be, they're still paying taxes.
Exactly.
That's the same thing when they talk about immigrants or whatever. It's like, oh, they're not paying taxes. Right. But it's like every time they go to the grocery store, it's not like they're walking out and saving that 8 point whatever %.
And they're literally paying taxes anyways.
Exactly. So that statement is far too vague to actually mean anything.
Right.
And like you're saying, like the issue that I have with the whole Democrats, like, oh, these rich people need to pay more taxes. It's like, no. You as a broke nigga sitting in whatever city in America need to understand that you don't want to pay taxes either.
Right.
So let's all figure out a way where we cannot pay taxes.
Man, if you told me to do a backflip, I can't even do one, and I would do one just to avoid paying taxes.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, a lot of these people that have these gripes are not actually paying taxes.
No.
Because at the end of the year, they're getting a tax a refund. So
right. Anybody that says they want to pay more taxes has to be stupid.
That's just a loan for a brokey.
Yeah, it's like if somebody says, you know what, if you make, let's say you bust your ass and you make let's say you make $1 million. You make $1 million flat. You are almost getting half of that already taxed.
It's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
But only people that have gripes about that don't have $1 million.
Right. They're like, you should pay that much.
Yeah.
It is like, dude, first of all, none of us really know where our tax money is going.
Oh, no, we don't.
They're bending us over and doing things that they shouldn't be doing to us. And
well, somebody might like it.
Yeah, somebody like, tax me more. Oh, yeah. What if that shit people been saying? Like, you hear people make that sound effect.
All right.
But they're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, people do that. I don't know what that's about. But I guess it's important.
You know what I hate the most? When they would have, like, that freaking, it's like the sex audio. Mm-hmm. So they'll send you a video, and then it will be something entirely different.
Oh, my God, I hate that.
Like in today's news,
like, I was in like Albertsons or something, and it was so fucking loud. It's like, oh yeah, oh. And it just drowned everybody out. And then, not to mention, like you this big black guy watching porn in the line. They'll be like, my God, it's a bad look. We got to get him out of here.
It might teach you a lesson to like stay off your phone in certain places.
True.
Imagine like somebody sitting in church and God said, "Oh yeah." You'd be like,
that's right, young man. God said, "Oh yeah."
Oh God.
Yeah, that's the only time people want to bring up God is when they get some dick.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You know, be funny. This would be a good bit. So I don't want to give it away, but I was thinking about it. Like, what if you have sex with an atheist and she's like, "I don't believe in God." You start hitting her from the back. Oh my God! Oh yeah.
That's how it be, man. That's how it be. Like, you'll be sitting at lunch or whatever. It's just like, I don't know. I grew up in the church, but I just struggle with God. 7 minutes later, oh yeah, oh God.
I'm gonna need to see my gynecologist after this. Oh my God. Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Another thing too, in regards to the whole dress, the AOC tax to risk dress. Like, there's this negative connotation to people being rich. It's like when you become successful, it automatically makes you an asshole. Yeah. Like your opinion in some instances becomes less relevant because you're rich. So now, since you're rich, you can't have an opinion about certain things. Like I grew up from very humble beginnings. I didn't have a lot. So when I come across a lot of money,
there you go,
and I make a comment regarding the homeless or poverty or whatever, then somebody's gonna say, "Fuck Eddie, he's a rich asshole and he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about," not knowing that I come from very humble beginnings.
You worked extremely hard to get there.
Yeah, so it's like, no, buddy, fuck you, and that's why you gonna stay broke because you can't You can't think outside of this little small opinion where you generalize every single person who's successful and you label them as some rich asshole that needs to pay more taxes. Do I come to your job and tell you, hey, motherfucking guy that works at Arby's, you need to flip more burgers? No, that's a bad comparison. But you, I don't tell you what to do with your life. Because you're like, the thing is, if you're successful or you're somebody that has reached the apex of success in your life, you don't usually look downward to judge people. If you do, because there's people that do judge, but if you do, then you're just a dick. But I don't worry about other people's lives. It's the same way with somebody being rich. They'll say like, Jay-Z should have donated this much money and did this. How are you going to tell another man what to do with his money? That's another problem I've got. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's annoying. I think I genuinely think the more I grow older and learn about finances and stuff is that being broke is a mentality.
Yeah.
So it's somebody. I mean, it's some things that I know. Some people that during the whole COVID time or whatever, they got kicked down with some thousands as far as like unemployment in certain situations, and they just ran through it. So literally, if you would have gave those same people $1 million, they'll find a way to spend it all.
They're gonna blow it.
And in terms of once you hit that 1 million mark, you're considered a millionaire, right? So giving those people like it, and I say that to say like it doesn't matter how much money they have. It's all a mentality. So for those same people that always are judging what rich people are doing with their money, or those same people that think that rich people are evil and all this kind of stuff, they have this mentality where they don't think that they can attain those things. They don't think that they can ever be a millionaire. They don't know any way that they can save up enough money to purchase property and all this. They're
very limited.
Yeah, they just limit in the things that they can attain. But in reality, I'm going through this home purchasing process. So I'm realizing that it doesn't actually matter how much money you're bringing in. It's like what you're doing with that money.
Yeah, right.
So for the person that they may be like a teacher's aide or something. Like like during this home buying process, you start to talk to different people that work different jobs that are also trying to do the same thing, right? So like I was talking to a teller the other day, and she was like, yeah, we just I don't know who we is, but she was mentioning her family, but she was like, yeah, we're going through the home purchasing process, and we just they just accepted our offer on this house, and it took us a long time to get it. And I'm just like, she's just a bank teller. And not to be disrespectful, but I know she ain't making a lot of money. They don't, obviously the banks are generally closed on the weekend. She probably works, I don't know how many hours she works. I'm sure they're not paying her much over minimum wage. But somehow she saved up enough money, or her family saved up enough money in order to purchase a house. And that not instantly, but through your monthly mortgage payments and stuff like that grows your net worth, right? Yeah. So her mentality is in the right place. So it doesn't matter that she's a bank teller. But there are some people that are broke that are making $100,000 a year.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to beat this whole AOC dress thing down. Some people were also...
Trying to beat down her dress?
Yeah, I'm trying to take it off. I'm playing. Now, there were some people that had, like right-wing people that were looking for anything already.
Oh, for sure.
They're already looking for something.
That's mudslinging at its finest.
Yeah, it is. Like me personally, I don't really give a fuck that much, but I thought it was kind of corny on her behalf, only because like you can't go anywhere without making a political statement.
Yeah.
You got to make a political statement everywhere you go. But right-wing people are like, see, look at her. She's at the Met Gala. They're trying to rip her apart anyway. It's just confirmation bias. That's all it is.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Liberals do this shit too, but conservatives was having a field day with it. They was looking for anything. And they falsely stated that she bought a $35,000 ticket when she didn't. She was invited.
Oh,
right?
Okay. Yeah.
But even though she was invited.
But even that, like, that's ignorance being played out, because it's a charity event.
Exactly.
So for somebody like I guess in terms of anybody going to an event like that, and I don't know where the proceeds go or how they bust it down, but if me personally, I'm going to an event and I consider myself like the super liberal, and I know that $30,000 is going to some charity to help, little gay kids in New York design dresses or something, whatever the case may be.
Why they gotta be gay, bro?
I'm just talking about like a liberal agenda. You know what I mean? That's just something like liberals would donate to. Like,
Got it.
Gay kids designing dresses, take all my money.
So it's like we're donating lots of resources to pansexual kids. That's how it is, man.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. But the people that may not know that, or even sometimes those people know that, but they know how it looks versus what So if somebody is a Republican, they probably have been to the Met Gala before, and they know like the 30,000 goes to different charities or whatever the case may be. And we're also, and I'm speaking out of ignorance, so don't take whatever I'm saying as like word is like it's real. But I'm saying like there's somebody that could be Republican, and they actually know where the money goes as far as the Met Gala, but they also know how it looks. How it looks on the outside. It looks like a bunch of rich people just showing up to some event.
That's what it looks like.
You know what I mean?
That's what it is too, though.
But it's a charity event on top of that, so there's some philanthropic aspect to it. But the most people don't actually know that. True. So you can get on whatever blog or whatever talk show or whatever and be like, AOC is, she's being a hypocrite because she spent $30,000 to get, you know what I mean? So that narrative can get out there when in reality it may have been a situation where, like you said, her ticket was donated, or even if she did purchase her ticket, she knew that the funds was going to something that
AOC
she supported.
ain't broke though. AOC got bread too though.
Yeah,
she made somebody she made around
200,000.
Yeah, which is not.
She lived in New York though.
Oh, that's right.
When she was running for I don't know what she was,
200K in New York ain't shit.
Senator or something like that. They had a documentary and they posted the whole thing. She had like a very grassroots thing, like out communicating with people and popping up at certain events and really talking to people. And they showed her apartment. It was just it looked maybe like our office.
Like our office, yeah.
Maybe a little bit smaller or bigger, whatever the case may be, but. She by no means was she balling, but I think that's part of the reason why she wore that dress is because she
has to align with
not that, but my take is that she knows that she doesn't have the funds to get out there and be as present as some people that have more money than her, so she has to have this has to have more bang for her buck. So she knows the Met Gala is just it's going to be a huge conversation every year, no matter if you're Zoe Kravitz or AOC or whatever, Frank Ocean or Lil Nas X, whatever. All these people, they're going to talk about them. Rihanna, A$AP Rocky. We all know that there are going to be conversations surrounded around what people are wearing. Right. So she's like, okay, I'm going to wear something that is kind of just regular, but I'm going to have like a huge statement on the back. And it's like people are already going to talk about me being there. People are already going to talk about what I'm wearing, but they're also going to talk about this tax thing. So it's like, I don't have the funds to get out and, run ads and all this, but I can wear a dress and it's going to make a huge, statement.
I think that's true. I think the statement thing is true. But I also, like I said, I also think it's true that she can't just show up to, like, what if she just really wanted to go to the Met Gala? Like, what if the only thing she wanted to do was show up to the Met Gala, right? But she knows she can't just show up there because the people who support her are going to be like, why the fuck is she at the Met Gala and she says she's serving underserved communities, right?
Yeah, she can't just show up.
She can't just show up with a regular dress on. They're going to be like, she paid all this money, this and that, so she had to make that political statement. To me, it just seems like, yo, you can't go have a good time?
And that's the sad part about being a politician.
Yeah.
Is that you can't really... Even like George Bush now, he all buddy with Barack Obama, and you be seeing them in different ads and stuff together.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's a bunch of people mad. Like, you walk around with this coon? I voted for you.
Hey, take that comment back. You walking around with that Barack O'Coon? You take that back right now. Yeah, that's true. They all buddy and stuff now, but if they were like in the heat of political battle, they would be polar opposites.
That's the thing. Like I always tell people, like if we were more aware of certain things, I think we would have less hate and conflict with one another, right? So if we really knew that we are so passionate about being a Republican or a Democrat, and if we really understood that behind the scenes, Barack Obama and Donald Trump can go at it, or Joe Biden and Donald Trump can go at it, and as soon as they call cut, or as soon as the debate is over, or whatever the case may be, they walk away and they be like, "Hey, how's your son doing?" If we knew that was going on behind the scenes, I think people would be like, "Dang, it's actually not that serious."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's just what it is these it's weird that CNN, Fox News, all these different news outlets don't provide information. They provide affirmation. Mm-hmm. So when you're watching this news, you're not watching it with any real objective stance.
Yeah.
If it's CNN used to not be like liberal, but now that's liberal. That's a liberal hub. Fox wasn't like that. Well, no, the Fox been like that. They've been like that for a minute, but not like this.
Yeah,
like if you're conservative, you know where to go. If you're conservative, you know to go to Fox.
I think it got like that, maybe around Barack Obama.
Yeah,
because they had this series that came out, and I don't think I ever finished watching it, but it was kind of the guy that turned Fox to what it was. Like it wasn't a failing news network, but it was a news network that was just doing okay. And then around when they start putting out basically the Republican agenda as news, and the whole birth certificate situation and stuff like that. That's when they started turning into this really
even from here.
Yeah, conservative network, and then it took off because that's what people wanted to.
Why is the racist voice always like a southern accent?
Because that's where they're
from.
South
Get out of here, boy. We don't want you around here. You dark colored fellas always starting trouble.
All y'all are good for us tossing around that pigskin.
Yeah, get out of here. Stay away from my family.
Keep your dick away from my daughter.
Like, I would never like imagine them saying that. Oh my God. Get your Malcolm X penis away from my daughter. Oh man. It's funny. More into the Met Gala was Lil Nas X dressed up as like fucking C-3PO. You seen that? Mm-hmm. He had that gold thing on.
I thought it was cool that him and Frank Ocean took a picture.
Oh, they did?
Just from like a kind of music fan perspective, I thought that was just cool.
Yeah.
They linked up. Mm.
Yeah, they probably linked up more after the show. Somebody was swimming in somebody's ocean. No, but Lil Nas X. Like, here's the thing: what a lot of men need to realize is some of their critique about people like Lil Nas X is just actually it's homophobia. Mm-hmm. Like it's homophobia it's homophobia disguised as critique. Yeah. So you seen like Lil Nas X had something on where it was like a tight like looked like a suit, but it was like tight, and it was like, look at him wearing this. This is ridiculous. Why is he wearing that? And then he had something else on, like a dress, and it was like, oh, he wearing a dress. What about the kids? Like, bro, don't nobody care about the kids.
They always gonna throw their kids in there. I don't want my kids seeing this.
I don't want my kids seeing this. Like, your kids see you every day.
Your kids seeing you and your wife having sex.
Yeah.
What's worse than that?
Yeah, not even that. Like, they see you not respect their mom, or they see all kind of other shit. What it is it's just homophobia disguised as critique. What the fuck do you Lil Nas is openly gay. What you expecting to wear? Dickies and Chuck Taylors?
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, I'm not the fashion police. By the way, I have no investment on what a gay man is doing with his life. Mm-hmm. He is gay. That's fine. He could go and do whatever he wants to do. Like, I think that a lot of men got masculinity fucked up. They think that masculinity is like, oh, hell no, not no gays. We don't want no gays around here. Oh, what about the kids? Like, that's not masculinity. Masculinity is also seeing someone who is different than you and saying, hey, they rock like that. That's fine.
And that's the end of it.
And that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Masculinity is also seeing someone who lives an alternate lifestyle, or a different lifestyle than you, and not chastising them for it, and just saying, okay, hey, do you, bro?
I think the thing that's annoying for me the most is the lack of self-awareness.
Right.
So there are a lot of people that are out here saying like, I'm not gay, but I don't like what Lil Nas X is doing. I don't like that.
You gotta preface it with that?
Yeah, I don't like that my kids growing up in this world where people are dressing like this, or he's getting naked on this and stuff like that. It's just like, I just hate that they don't have the awareness to know that they are actually being homophobic.
Oh,
that they are creating these narratives because they
Right.
just don't like gay people.
Right. It's subliminal homophobia, but it's loud. Mm-hmm. It's very loud homophobia, but it's subliminal. Mm-hmm. So it's socially acceptable to say, but like, motherfucker, we know you homophobic. Just like the people that say shit like, look, like, I'm not racist or anything, but like, African Americans do seem to be a lot louder than everyone else. And they're always getting arrested, and they're always having problems with the police. And it's like, motherfucker, just come out and say you racist. Mm-hmm. Like it's
life would be much easier.
Life would be much easier if you just stop being a fucking piece of shit and a liar, right? And with this whole thing, man, what we like to do as a society is we pick and choose from the Bible what's a sin and what's not. And like, gay is like the top of the list for sins. That's like the only sin that exists. Like, it's in the Bible, man. You can't be gay. It says it. And that's a fact. It does mention homophobia. Mm-hmm. But it also mentions children out of wedlock. It also mentions gluttony. It also mentions stealing. It also meant like we are
being drunk.
Yeah, we are a world full of sinners, and we are judging someone because they sin differently than us.
Yeah.
That shit is wild to me, bro.
I think we have sins in terms of like what the Bible says, and then we have like our own American sins.
Right.
So, having sex is okay. Just use a condom. All this is okay, but being gay is just like that's where we draw the line, I guess.
Yeah. It's a line that says gay, and no, it's a imagine like the word gay, and it's a line right underneath it. Mm-hmm. Once you cross that line, you can't come back here.
It be niggas with whole bodies on them, like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? I'll kill anybody, but as long as you gay, it's not happening. So he's like, you a murderer, bro. He died for our sins, cuz, but he didn't die for gay niggas, cuz.
Like, what kind of logic is this, man? Oh, man. Yeah, it's wild. But I just see it. I see it, and it's like, why can't he just dress like a normal person and this and that? And it's just like, bro, and it's grown men is doing this. I don't get why so many men worry about other men's sexuality.
You know what I did when I seen Lil Nas X's pregnant picture?
Yeah.
Keep scrolling.
That's what
I don't care.
I don't give a fuck about that. Look, and what it is too is Lil Nas X is leaning into this shit because he knows motherfuckers are reacting to it.
That's the thing. I'm saying one more time. We have to be more aware of the upsell.
Yeah.
Like, Lil Nas X knows, and, part of it may be a rebelliousness that he has because, he's been probably closeted for so long. But also, he knows that people are going to talk about these things.
Yeah.
He knows that his album cover is a little bit out there. He knows that the pregnancy pictures are going to get people talking. He knows that every time he posts something, Lil Boosie is just somewhere punching walls. So he's just going to keep doing it because y'all are falling for the trick. And the same, I was telling Eddie this, or I think I mentioned it on the podcast too. As far as like being at Walmart or something, and when you at the checkout, and they got Snickers over here and gum over here and maybe some Gatorades right there when you're getting ready to walk out. Mm-hmm. And they're putting those there because they like, oh, excuse me, you've done all your shopping. Mm-hmm. You may not even have been thinking about a cookie or Snickers or whatever, but excuse me. But since they put it in front of you, it's just a quick grab. So they go nickel and dime you to death. You know, spending 75 cents here, $1 here, and the next person comes and does the same thing. It's just the upsell. Same thing like when you're in a fast food restaurant or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, would you like to medium or large?" And be like, "Let me get a medium." It's like, "Oh, would you like to try our cheesecake today?" And they're like, Actually, I would. And then that's just an extra $4 or $5 that they added on to every order. So that's what's happening with Lil Nas X, because we're not aware of the fact that they're trying to sell us. He's selling us something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, he's gay, and now it's coming with something extra, because if you already homophobic, he going to hit you with something else to make you react again.
But with bringing more awareness to it.
With dudes like me and Keith, we see it and we be like, "Oh, this kid's crazy." And we just keep scrolling. And by the way, like, the thing that's keeping him relevant though is not the fact that he's gay. He actually makes decent music.
Yeah.
Like, I listened to some of his album, and like, I mean, obviously the kid's gay. He's gonna say some gay shit. Who cares? I'm listening for the music content.
Yeah.
And I sent Keith a song the other day, and he got some couple cuts on that album.
Mm-hmm. What's that song called?
It's called Dead Right Now. Mm-hmm. That song is dope on Lil Nas album. So shout out to him, man. Mm-hmm. But yeah, people, you gotta chill with the homophobic shit, man.
We do gotta chill with it, but we gotta recognize it.
Yeah.
Because if you out here thinking like, "Oh, I'm not homophobic," or I don't got no disrespect towards gay people, like all those but statements. We just gotta check those.
All those but statements.
Stay away from the butt statements, man.
Oh man, Keith was in the middle of saying something important.
Nah, but yeah, I just think that we have to recognize it and really understand the definition of being homophobic. You know what I mean, and understand that it comes from a fear and a disdain. You know what I mean, and a lot of these people don't even want to be in the same bathroom as a gay dude, but they be like, "No, I'm not homophobic.
Don't touch me."
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to catch gay, man. Don't touch me.
Or the disdain or the dislike towards that community. And if you don't like something that they're doing, which they deem as like homosexual, then that probably means you're homophobic.
Let's be very clear. You do not have to subscribe to somebody that has a gay lifestyle. Mm-hmm. You do not have to subscribe to it. That's what people need to understand. You don't have to subscribe, meaning like you don't got to be out marching and protesting for gay people. What you can do is, especially if you have a belief, like you have a Christian belief, you do not have to subscribe to somebody being gay. But I mean, from a human decency aspect, don't be like, "Look, I just want to let you know that God loves you, and even though you're gay, like, I'm gonna pray for you." Like, don't do shit like that.
Yeah.
Stop doing shit like that, bro.
Especially when you shacking up with your girl or something like that.
Like, bro, you trying to preach to somebody that's homosexual about stuff, but yet you've been fucking your girl for a minute. Premarital sex is against the Bible. Like, none of us is living this parallel with the Bible. So we need to stop, dog.
Yeah, I also think like, whatever your religious beliefs, that's totally okay.
Right.
I am, I'm Christian myself, and I know there are people that are Muslim and practice different faiths and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. If you want to abide by the Bible in that sense, that's perfectly okay too. I just don't agree with like the hate that comes out of it.
Yeah.
Like, you just gotta, at a certain point, you gotta let the alcoholic live his life. You gotta let the person addicted to sex or porn or whatever the case, you gotta treat these people with the same sort of respect and love that we do, as people that choose, or not necessarily choose. Sorry, I don't even want to bring that into the conversation, but the people that are homosexual.
Okay.
So,
well, shout out to the Met Gala. Oh, we'll close after this one with this topic. Keke Palmer mentioned in regards to the Met Gala, the food and how bad the food was. She posted a picture and it just looked like some straight bullshit. So it's like $35,000 for that ticket. You would think that you would get something comparable to the price of the ticket. But it says Keke Palmer still isn't into Met Gala food. Sorry. She said, it says sorry to this man. You ever seen that meme? Where she'd be like, "Sorry to this man." Mm-mm. But Keke Palmer doubling down on her negative review of this year's Met Gala menu when a fan retweeted Page Six article about Chef Marcus Samuelson sticking up for the food. The star replied, "I just have a different taste buds. I love this chef. Sorry to this man." Palmer's first called out the Met Gala's catering on her social media Monday night, captioning a sad-looking photo of a few pieces of veggies. The menu, she said, the menu chili. No, it said the menu child. She said the actress, who was the first-time attendee at a prestigious event, also joked on her Instagram stories, "This is why they don't show y'all the food. I'm just playing." Yo, we gotta understand, like, rich people don't move like normal people. Like at these fashion shows, they probably got they showed the what do you call it before you eat, the appetizers, and it looked like little pieces of art. It'll be like a boiled egg with like 3 little dots on it of hot sauce and like 2 French fries that's like tied in a bow. You're like, what the fuck is this shit?
Oh my gosh.
What is this? This shit looks like a headache. I don't want to eat this crap.
Wait, is she vegetarian?
I don't know what she is, but I guess it was a vegan menu.
Oh, so that there was no meat on the menu at all?
Yeah, but even though it wasn't no meat, like it looked like a soggy piece of broccolini and a little salad with corn and shit. I'm like, dude, that shit that was on that plate, that didn't cost no more than about 75 cents, the amount of food that was on that plate. Yeah. And they dressed it up to make it look nice, but it's so cheap.
I think there as far as the whole vegan options, I think that, like, I guess the truest iteration of being a vegan to me is where you're, primarily eating like vegetables, cooking up vegetables and, pastas and stuff like that. But you can't, there's not too many options when it comes to like vegan food.
Nah.
From my experience, unless you're, they have the they
got a place out here.
Impossible burgers and all that. That is fine. But what I'm saying is, like, when you're like the OG version of being a vegetarian before all the impossibles and the not chicken and all this kind of stuff, that's kind of what like a vegan meal would look like,
I guess. But out here in Bakersfield, I guess they got a spot called Vita Vegan. I heard that shit was fire.
It's not fire.
Really?
No, it's not. It's good, but it's not. It's not. I wouldn't even. You know me, and we have a similar taste when it comes to food.
Right.
You would go there and be like, I'm never eating vegan food ever again.
Really? Just because of how I am?
Yeah, it's just not. It's not for.
It's not for us.
The thing about it, right? So, if you do eat meat, or if you don't consider yourself a person that has the desire to be a vegan or a vegetarian, when you choose to eat something that doesn't have the milk or the meat or whatever, it has to be like equally as good or better for you to actually appreciate it.
Got
right?
you.
When you're vegan, you can kind of bypass a lot of things because that's really your only option.
Got you.
So when it comes to like, eating like waffles or, certain things that may take eggs or milk or whatever the case may be, you may put up with the strange kind of taste in there because you don't have many options. You know what I mean? So as far as like vegan food goes, they don't have many options, so they don't have much to like really compare.
What be tripping me out about some vegan food is like, yo, if vegan food's so good, why y'all copying our food? That's the problem. I like,
why do you name it not chicken? Why is it an Impossible Burger?
If you give me a cauliflower chicken wing, I'll punch you in the mouth.
Yeah, just eat chicken.
Just don't give me cauliflower disguised as buffalo wings.
Yeah, the thing that annoys me too is like they don't even. Different people are vegan for different reasons. There are some people like, oh, I have more energy and it just grosses me out.
How do they sound?
I have more energy.
That's the standard vegan voice.
That's the vegan voice.
They always sound congested.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like the energy or animal products gross them out, or they seen that documentary where they was cutting up the chickens and stuff, and that grossed them
Yeah.
out, so they decided not to do it, or they don't want to. The whole greenhouse gas, all this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
for many different reasons.
I'll add on to that, but go ahead.
But for the people that have this assumption that vegan food is just healthier by nature, that's just not true.
Yeah. Like what kills me about vegans though is like usually like if you vegan and that's what you do, that's cool, man. But a lot of times you'll be about to eat a burger or you'll whatever, and they'll be like, I don't even see how you could eat that. Like they critique your shit.
Yeah.
Like, did you know that the carbon footprint? I'm like, you know what? Fuck you in the carbon footprint.
I'm gonna stick my carbon footprint up your ass if you keep judging my
I'm
burger.
about to eat this carbon footprint cheeseburger, right? And these goddamn carbon tacos. Leave me alone.
Carbon tacos.
Like, no, but what you don't understand, look, just make it stop. Make it stop, goddamn it. I'm trying to eat. Fuck.
Yeah, the thing that I don't like, and my girlfriend is vegetarian, so this is primarily why I'm going in so hard on this stuff. But what happens is they get in these, like, and you know me, I don't mind not eating meat. Like I'm not just out here, just like, oh, I need meat in every meal. But what happens is when these people get around each other, when it's like 4 or 5 vegans together,
Oh, fuck.
they start
It's
to
like-
get this energy.
It's like Captain Planet. With your powers combined.
cucumbers, celery.
Watermelon. With your powers combined, I am Captain Vegan. Captain Vegan, he's our hero.
Captain Vegan. That's the name of the pod.
Yo, that's wild.
Captain
Yo,
Vegan.
remember the Captain Planet? The black kid had the wackest power.
Yeah.
It was like wind, water. This nigga was like heart. What the fuck is that? The black dude always got the weakest power, bro. What the fuck? Back in the day, the black guy or the black person in the movie was always the first to die.
Oh man, that's so trash.
Oh, I was so pissed
Yeah,
off. And it
that's
could
so
be
trash.
and in real life, black people when we sense danger, we take off running.
Yeah.
But in the movies, we always get eaten by the fucking
We
shark.
got way better natural instincts than most other races.
What was that movie with Michael Myers? Was it Michael Myers with the ski mask? That's Michael Myers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, it was. I forgot which one it was, but Michael Myers was fighting this dude. He was fighting Michael Myers. He was hitting him in the head. You seen that movie where he was like boxing him? They was on top of a roof, and he just started fucking Michael Myers up, just pop, 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 and then he just stopped and just socked his head off. You didn't see that?
Nah, I don't know if I've ever watched one of those
The
movies.
people that have seen, and I get it mixed up. I get Jason and I get fucking Michael Myers mixed up. But I think Michael Myers is. I'm trying to remember which one where he walking around. He be like, choo, choo, choo. Oh.
That's definitely Michael
That's
Myers.
Michael Myers. So he's walking around, and what's weird about Michael Myers?
Bad to cut you. Because, wait.
No, that's
Wait, what is
Halloween.
What is,
It's the Halloween.
that's
Friday the 13th.
Jason?
I think it might be.
Because remember the Freddy versus Jason movie, right?
It's Jason Voorhees.
So it's Jason Voorhees, it's Freddy Krueger, Freddy Cougar, and then it's Michael Myers.
Which one is Michael Myers though? What the fuck is he?
So it's 3 different. Nigga, we got computers and phones.
Yeah,
Let's
I
look
get.
this
I know
up.
some people are probably mad because they're huge Halloween fans.
I be doing this all the time. If I'm listening to a podcast and I know the answer, and the podcast hosts are just fumbling through a topic, I just be like, "Come on, dog!" Like, but they can't hear you, of course.
I know there's some people that are like, "How do you not know that, Eddie? You're like 36. What are you doing?" You know, cool it off. All right, cool it off.
Yeah.
But I think Jason. I think
So Jason has a ski mask.
Yeah, okay.
Michael Myers has like a mask, but it's not the ski mask. So this is Jason on the.
okay.
the
I
right.
think Jason. Yeah, look up Jason. Let me see. Jason gets punched by a black guy. I think it was. It had to be Jason. It was Jason, man. Watch, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, Michael Myers has that mat. It's like
That weird
face
little
mat,
face,
Like,
yeah.
it's that pale face.
Jason punched by
Nigga.
black guy, and it's gonna pop shit up. Watch this. It's gonna pop it up. Here it is. It popped. The first thing popped. Friday the 13th. Jason Takes Manhattan. 1989 knockout scene. And this black dude is like a real boxer, dude. Mm-hmm. Like he's like hitting him with hooks and shit.
Punching real.
Oh, he was fucking him up, and he was just like punching him with combos. And then the black dude just stopped, and then Jason socked his head off.
That's crazy.
I was like,
That
that's
would never
fucked up, man.
That would never happen to Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was that when all the vegans get together and it's like just me in the room, it's you could tell the energy shifts to where it's like, oh, I can't remember the last time I ate chicken. Oh my gosh, chicken, beef. It's just like they start to get this like really like snobby like vegan conversations going on. Yeah. And it's just because they're all supported by one another. And if they were in a room full of people that just ate regular food, then that conversation wouldn't even.
You know what I do if I was in that situation? I would just keep my mouth shut, let them feel like they're better than everybody, whatever, and then I will wait till one of them go outside to smoke a cigarette. Be like, hey, is that a vegan cigarette?
Is that vegan cancer in that cigarette?
Is that vegan carcinogens in that motherfucker? Is that vegan rat poison in that goddamn cigarette you about to smoke?
Yeah.
They gonna, it'd be funny. They talking all this vegan shit, and then you see them like 3 years later, like, yes, I'm vegan. They got that little machine on their neck.
You a fool, because I was like, man, I just don't understand how you can be vegan and fat. And you was like, man, is they deep frying lettuce?
They deep frying the lettuce, man. They go to McDonald's like, I have a special request. Can you put a little mac sauce and just deep fry the whole salad? That'll be fine.
Oh, man.
Like, ma'am, the fast food worker voice. Ma'am, I don't think we can do that. I think we can do that here, ma'am.
That's crazy.
What was that vegan voice again?
I forgot it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I lost it.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Shout out to the vegans, man.
Shout out to the vegans.
Yeah. I don't even know where we went with that. Mm-hmm. I don't even know. I don't even remember what the goddamn...
Oh, we're talking about, what's the name?
Oh, the Keke Palmer.
Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, I think my thing is, I when it comes to, I think because, they were probably in LA or something like that. And LA has, if you, I think that is not like OG vegan. I think there's like an OG vegan. That's what I was saying as far as like people that's really chopping up vegetables and stuff like that, and non-dairy and all these kind of things. That's like OG vegan. This new 2021 version of being a vegan is a little bit easier because first of all, you got the Impossible burgers you can mess with. You got the not chicken. Like I had some orange chicken, it's a vegan Chinese restaurant. I had some orange chicken and rice and stuff like that. It was fire.
Really?
You know what I mean? I had nothing bad to say about it. The texture was good, the whole nine.
Ooh,
but it's easy to be a vegan like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as far as like LA goes, like they have a lot of good options out there.
When you think of veganism, most vegans got to be liberal.
Oh, for sure.
They definitely, because conservatives be like, give me a big steak.
Yeah,
yeah. But like, especially LA is extremely liberal.
Yeah,
even the homeless is liberal. They be like, we got to get Trump out of there. Be like, nigga, you sleep on the sidewalk.
Where they gonna mail your ballot to?
They don't even mail the ballot. They just throw it out the window. Somebody will pick it up. They just drive down Skid Row, throwing out fucking ballots. Oh, man.
That's crazy.
Oh, man. It's jokes, folks. It's jokes. I wonder how many people come across this podcast and really be like mad because you shouldn't make fun of the homeless.
Yeah. That's just like...
That experience in LA was wild.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys caught that episode. Some people might have missed it. But when we went to see Andrew Scholes at the Orpheum Theater out in LA, we went to go pick some stuff up prior to that and just some stuff from my business. and we had to go down Skid Row, like the heart of Skid Row. And somebody literally took a shit on the street, and they had a piece of white. It was a piece of white bread covering the turd.
Oh,
Right in front of the police department.
Why did we never clip that one up?
That?
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
We
Because it probably was so like shocking that I forgot that it even happened. But
Yeah, that would have been.
people would think you're making a story like that up, but it's like, nah, dude. There was literally 2 pieces of Wonder Bread with doo-doo in it. And flies all over it. And then there was a dude that low-key was trying to assault the police officer to arrest him.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is
I never seen somebody
wild.
else trying to get arrested.
Wow. Then we walked by some other dude that was sleeping in a box with his pants down.
Yeah.
His naked ass was out.
His butt was all out.
I was like, yo, this is fucking wild. Like, this is something you think you would see in a third world country.
Yeah.
But like most of LA has turned into it. What's funny about LA though is like, especially due to the what do you call that when you take over a bad neighborhood and start making it good again?
I know.
Yeah,
I lost it.
Yeah.
It's late, guys.
Yeah. But anyways, a lot of these areas are getting like what do you call it, refurbished or fixed up, right?
We struggling.
Yeah, I don't even want to call it refurbished, but they're fixing up a lot of these bad areas, and it's starting to separate them weird. It's like homeless. All of a sudden, you see a couple trees, and then you go about 2-3 miles down the other way. Boom! Now you're in fucking Beverly Hills or something.
Yeah,
it's wild, man.
I have to find that word, or it's just gonna bother me.
Yeah, I know.
It's that show on Netflix from that guy from Bakersfield.
What you talking about?
Isn't that the name of the show?
What?
Gentrified. So
gentrification.
What I was saying, there's a show. I don't know if you ever seen. It's called like It's called Gentified.
No, I haven't seen that.
The guy is the director is from Bakersfield.
Oh wow.
So that's how I made that connection. But yeah, the gentrification.
Yeah.
That I think there are like 2 scenes that come to mind in movies that like are like cinematic genius when it comes to like explaining gentrification, or I wouldn't even call that gentrification, but just explaining class without even saying anything.
Classism, yeah.
One is definitely in the movie Time with Justin Timberlake.
Oh my God,
where he got all the money and he's just driving through and he's like, how much to get here? And then he just keeps going and going, and it's just more expensive and just way beautiful. That was one, but also the movie Widows, I think it's called. It has Viola Davis in there and Liam Neeson, I believe. I think that's the movie. I'm pretty sure. But basically, in the movie, the guy, he's just this politician, and he's kind of like out here, and he's talking to like these people in the ghetto of Chicago or whatever, and he's explaining all these different things. And then, the way the camera is positioned to where you can see the guy sitting in the back seat of the car, but you can also see like the street.
Like the
so he's like,
ambiance.
so you can see the whole thing. So he leaves the slums of Chicago, right? Hops in this fancy car, and he's getting driven, by the way. He hops in his fancy car, and you could just gradually see
things changing.
Yeah, it goes from the ghetto projects, all this kind of stuff, and then it just goes to this luxurious neighborhood with trees and people walking their dogs and stuff like that. Literally in a matter of like I would say like a 3-minute drive, and just a continuous shot. And then by the time he parks, he hops out and goes into his little $1 million home or whatever the case. And it was just like, damn, this is so crazy.
I think the best representation of that in Bakersfield, probably out of any place, is hop on Highway 58 and head east for a while, and then exit
Oswell, maybe?
Nah, go further down.
Further than Oswell?
Just because East Brundage runs pretty far. So I would take, get off on probably like off of Weed Pass, like Highway 184, and then take Brundage, because Brundage turns into Stockdale. So drive as far as you can down East Brundage and just look at the surroundings and look at how ran down a lot of stuff looks. And just keep driving down East Brundage, keep driving until it turns into Stockdale, and keep driving till you get out to Cal State, and keep driving and driving and look around and look at how
some fat cribs.
look at how new everything is. Look at how nice the roads are. That is the perfect representation of not only classism, but it's showing that like there are areas that receive more aid and road work and all these things and funding, and the schools are better and the textbooks are better. And it's crazy, but that's how it is, man. Even in this city alone, a lot of people don't realize it because they just live where they live, and they're like, if you got a lot of money and you're looking at the poor kids, you're like, they need to do better and work harder. And then the poor kids are like, we don't got nothing, you know?
Yeah, I think I want to like I that statement is just ignorant.
Yeah,
and I want to like when my home buying process is done, I really want to come on here and talk about the whole experience because. It's one of those things where you learn that it has nothing to do with it has some things to do with like work ethic and all this kind of stuff, but there's so many hurdles that you have to go through in order to just like attempt to attain wealth. So like whenever it's all done, like it's just so many things that I've learned through the process, and one of the things that I've learned, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but one of the things that I've learned is that all these people on the internet, they're not lying, but they're speaking in a way where it's just the perfect scenario. That's why it's a lot of nonsense that you see online. So there's a lot of real estate people that are like, all you got to do is you get an FHA loan, you live in a house for a year, then move out and do the same repeat the same process, and you can rent out the house. Or if you want to live in a multifamily home, you just rent out one of this, live in one of the spaces and rent out the other units and all this kind of stuff. It's just a bunch of stuff that people say online that is just not real, and it's real for them because they've done it, obviously, but not everyone's experience is going to be the same. So
true.
Yeah,
that's a fact. All right. Well, we went on a tangent. Let's go ahead and move on. All right. Switching gears. Respecting your kids. A lot of parents. This is for the parents that may be listening to this podcast. And think about when you were a kid, right? And a lot of times your parents could be wrong about something, or they might have been incorrect about a statement they made. And oftentimes they never apologize. They just tend to just think it's okay to just be like, oh, I was wrong, whatever. And they're so used to just being dictators of things instead of actually, being respectful to you and apologizing. And what happens is, as time goes on, you start to realize that this is just a horrible way to parent. And I wrote some notes down before I lose my blank. Draw a blank, excuse me. I think it's important to apologize to your kids, man. Because a lot of times when you're wrong, there's times where your parents will be flat out fucking wrong and be dismissive. But then when you do something wrong, they expect you to apologize. Mm-hmm. They expect you to be like, sorry, Mom, it won't happen again. Sorry, Dad, it won't happen again. But the whole time, they're just fucking up without receiving any type of, not even punishment, but any type of accountability to their situation.
Yeah.
And what happens is one day, they're going to get old, and they're going to need to rely on you to take care of them. But you don't even respect them. Mm-hmm. I just want people to understand that, make sure you respect your kids. Then the motherfucking sirens are going off today. God damn. Yeah. Who got shot? Yeah, man. Don't forget to respect your kids. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to keep reiterating it over and over, but as your kids get older, they will resent you.
Yeah.
You're going to be relying on them, and, they're going to be helping you out. And then at that moment, you're going to realize how fucked up you were to them.
I think our generation a little bit, but definitely our parents, I guess our grandma to parent relationship, I think there was a lot of toxic stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
So some of that stuff, when they would say stuff like stay in a kid's place, or
yeah, that's ridiculous.
My grandma would say things like, don't correct an adult, or these kind of things. I do understand there's a child shouldn't be getting in grown folks' business as far as like, you know, if two adults are talking, a kid shouldn't be jumping in there and trying to like, just like, you know, there is a place that a child has as far as like a conversation goes. But some of the things that like they were taught as far as like, hey, y'all go play in there and, you know, leave us alone, leave grown folks alone in here and stuff like that. These are sort of like, they created this divide between like the communication, the hierarchy, you know, just kind of like shut up and be a kid kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think a little bit of that is dangerous. And not only because it breeds this relationship where, you know, when you grow up, you start to resent your parents and all this kind of stuff. But also like there's this idea that, and it talked about it in the book The Outliers, where you know, the way we communicate with our kids set them up for success.
100%.
So for a you know, a parent to son, parent to daughter relationship, where it's like, hey, don't ever, you know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like, don't mention it. And that kind of conversation, it creates this this idea where the child is going to grow up and they're afraid to go against the grain in a sense, or you know, so like for instance, like there's been like situations that's happened with me at the bank where it's just like some complete nonsense, right? So basically, one of the things that happened was I tried to cash a cashier's check. One of the people told me that it was a pretty, I'm trying to purchase a house, right? So it was a pretty hefty amount, right? So I go in there and the lady doesn't know she doesn't know how much I have on the check, right? She's just like, hey, what can I help you with today? And I'm like, hey, I just have this check. I'm trying to cash it. I'm trying to cash it in person because I know it's, you know, it's for the house or whatever, right? So she was like, oh, you know, you could put your check in the ATM and, you know, it will be available by tonight. So for me, I'm kind of leaning on like what she's saying. So I ended up doing it. And I went to the ATM and basically they put a hold on my check for like 10 days, right?
Yeah.
Which is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. I wasn't really tripping about it. But I made sure I did my due diligence. I made sure I called. I made sure I called multiple people and had multiple conversations until finally I got some sort of resolution that made sense to me. But in that situation, that person that grew up in a space where their parents was like, shut up, don't talk back to me, or shut up, don't stay in the kid's place, or, you know, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You don't even worry about that, or whatever the case may be. That type of thing that breeds people that grow up and then they would just accept that. So if they went into the bank, they would just be like, oh, it's fine, you know, I don't have to worry about it. My money will be available when it's going to be available and all this kind of stuff. So.
And the thing too is, as a parent, you're an authoritative figure. So if you come across other authoritative figures in your life, you could just fold under pressure. Yeah. Like whether it's a coach or whatever, like if a coach is trying to tell you to do some shit and he's like, get it done now. And you, instead of saying like, look, I'm well researched on this play. I've thought about this play. I know this play doesn't work. Each time he's told me to run it, it doesn't work. I could just say, hey, coach, the last X amount of times I ran that against that scheme, it didn't work. I just want to let you know that, you know, if you go back to the tape, it didn't work. Mm-hmm. And if he goes back on me and says, hey, well, you need to do it anyways, I'll be like, all right, coach, I just want to let you know that it didn't work, right? Mm-hmm. Then he might be mad, but he going to look at what you got to say because you had enough balls and integrity to tell him that. Mm-hmm. But if you're just a person that goes with the flow, that's not good.
Not at all.
Because you can't go with the flow. Even when you're talking to women, women are not going to respect the man that just listens to everything they say. You got to tell women, no, stop. No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And don't go back on it either. Like when you tell them no, don't let them be like, oh, babe, but what about this? When you're a person that folds and you're like, all right, okay, we'll do it. They have a little less respect for you because you went back on what you already said.
Yeah.
So you have to be very firm and direct with the shit you tell people. Mm-hmm. But parents, a lot of times they're setting you up for that. Not to mention, as a parent, you need to have integrity, because if you get in a situation where you're wrong and you say, hey, I'm sorry, I apologize, I fucked up, son, my bad. you've just set a precedent. Like you set the standard and the example of how your kids should react. So when your kids fuck up, they be like, Dad, I'm sorry, that's my fault. I'll do better next time. Mm-hmm. That's the type of culture you could create within your own home. Mm-hmm. Like looking at your kid could be, I don't care if your kid is 9 years old. Be like, hey, son, I'm sorry. I messed up. We could have had that if I didn't fuck it up, son. My bad. I'll make sure I get it right. And they'd be like, it's okay, Dad.
I think, and I don't know if this is a direct example, but my niece, my little brother's daughter, we had visited Desmond, my older brother, and I don't know if he came down to visit or something happened. And she was probably, at the time, she might have been like three years old or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I think she just walked up and hit him in the face. And he was like, hey. And she didn't get, my brother probably scolded her or something like that. But because she's an only child, she has a lot of freedom to express herself. So she's not a child that is like she's not she's a stay in the kid's place child because, as an only child, you start to, ingratiate yourself with all kind of conversations and stuff. It's kind of like, yo, chill out. You still a kid kind of thing. But for the most part, she has a freedom to express herself and stuff like that. So what happened was maybe, I don't know how many months later, we went down there to visit as a family and stuff like that. And she walked up to Desmond and she was like, hey, I apologize for hitting you in the face last time. Just like off the whim. Nobody actually told her what to do.
What?
Yeah, nobody told her to do that.
Wow, that's nuts.
And yeah, so I don't know, but maybe it is that freedom that she has to express her feelings, and no one is in there like if she's saying like, oh, I'm sad. No one's in there saying like, no, you're not sad. You're a little kid. Little kids can't be sad. Like like she has the freedom to do that. So maybe that sparked that idea to where like she can. Like you said, like, she sees that playing out in real time and she could replicate that. So
I've seen situations go on where it'll be like a woman with her like son walking out the store, and I'll be kind of behind them a ways, and I'm walking out as well. And the mom's about to walk off, and the kid stops and holds the door open for me. Mm-hmm. And I'll be like, yeah, you doing a good job with that kid. Mm-hmm. And they'll be like, oh, thanks. Mm-hmm. And the mom didn't even realize that the kid is holding the door open for somebody. Like little shit like that is important.
Yeah.
Because a lot of parents are fucking up their kids. They're fucking up their kids' self-esteem.
Yeah.
They're fucking up their self-esteem, and they're fucking up their confidence is the word I want to use. They're fucking up their confidence. Because when all you do is dictate, you never own up to being wrong about shit, you never apologize, none of that. Like, what is your kid learning? To not have accountability just like their fucking parents?
Yeah.
You know how many people grow up and never admit when they do shit wrong? They could literally be drunk driving, run into an innocent person and says, you know what? Like, yeah, I was drunk, but that person wasn't driving good either. And it's like, you drunk, you fucking idiot. What are you talking about?
And somebody has to marry that man or whomever, And then we were talking before the podcast about, certain people that aren't necessarily handling their business and relationships.
Right.
And that probably comes from some parent that didn't do enough work on their child. You know what I mean?
A lot of people, and here's the fucked up thing. A lot of people don't inherit big houses and cars and property. Most people inherit trauma. Like, it's more guaranteed that you will inherit trauma from your parents, and that trauma came from their parents, and that trauma came from their parents. And the only fucking thing they pass down is a lack of accountability, a lack of self-awareness, and a lack of actually being accountable.
You telling me you're going to bring me in this world in poverty and in trauma? That's all you pass?
And fried chicken? Fuck.
Fried chicken recipe?
Only thing I got is a good fried chicken recipe. I got a killer recipe. It's better than Popeyes.
Oh, man. That's crazy. Yeah, we got to pass down more, man. I think that, like, I don't know. I think what people need to realize, and I see this playing out in real time, it's a lot of people out here that's having children and they haven't even worked on themselves.
Bro, oh my God. That's most people.
Yeah, and it's like, and I'm seeing it, and I'm working on myself, so I'm not in the I know that just from it's just kind of like, when you have a good podcast, right? When you have it a little bit more put together than other people.
100%. We talk about it all the time.
So
fuck.
I know even if I did have a kid or whatever, like they won't be as in a position like some of these other people.
No.
Or I'm not in a position like some of these other people. But it's so many people out here that are, like we said, they're passing down these traumas, and they don't even know what they don't know. So they think that the way that they think through life is just normal, and all they know is that they want a family, they want kids, and all this kind of stuff.
Selfish.
And they don't even know the power, how powerful some of that those traumatic experiences are, and how they're passing it down. And I'll say this for the sake of the transparency on the podcast. I had an uncle that had a lot of issues with his own mom and how he was raised, right? So what happens is you want to correct these things. You want to ensure that I am not raising my child like I was raised. So in that overcorrection, it may be like I want to hold them close. I may be don't go out of my sight when you're playing in the backyard. Make sure you stand by the window, whatever the case may be. I'm going to make sure I tell them I love them. I'm going to encourage them. I'm going to tell them that they can do anything they can do. Just positive affirmations. You are beautiful. You are beautiful. All these kind of things. But what happened, and my uncle eventually passed away, is that he was fully aware of the shortcomings of his relationship, but he wasn't aware of the shortcomings within himself. So, and even due to him passing away, now his children are growing up without a dad. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what's at stake when we don't fix like the issues that we have, the I guess the flaws that we have, or the traumatic experiences on us, all this different stuff. If we don't fix that stuff, it's the stakes are so vast that it's
when we don't fix ourselves, it doesn't linger. It gets worse.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is it's not just present. It's getting worse because now it's almost like we've infected our children with the same fucked up shit that we had.
Also, that idea of time heals all is a lie.
That's a lie.
Yeah. Because if you have those type of real deep, dark issues, they don't go away.
No. Time plus work will heal the wounds. If you're doing the work on yourself, they will. Like my thing is, if I was to have a son or a daughter or whatever, I'm especially being in your 30s and you don't have kids and you had a lot of time to really, poke holes in yourself. Meaning, like,
oh, you got a voodoo doll?
No, Keith. It's an analogy. Now, like when I'm driving, I'm at work or whatever, I just think about me as a person, what I'm doing with my life, what's my current status, how am I living my life, what am I doing as a man? And when I could poke holes in myself and say, I'm not working hard enough, I need to be better, I need to be more reliable, I need to be more intelligent with this subject matter, I need to do this. When you can poke holes in yourself and you can gradually become a better person, then that's perfect for a child. To where you could see them not doing great and say, hey, son, the reason why you failed is because you're not even trying to get better. You're not even trying. And you could say it from a place of knowing. Like, hey, I know you are better than that, but son, you're not applying yourself. I seen you at practice. I seen you going through the motions. You're not working hard enough.
Yeah.
You're wasting your fucking time. What else do you love? Is there something that you really, because you're not invested in that.
Yeah.
When you
sorry to cut you off, but that experience that you're speaking about probably was your experience as an athlete.
There you go.
Yeah. But you were self-aware enough to know, like, hey, back in junior high when I was playing on roustabouts or whatever, I wasn't working hard.
100%. And you could tell them, like, hey, I know how it feels to be a quitter. It's not a good feeling. I know how it feels to not work hard at things. I know how it feels to fail, and I want, like, you don't really want to try to protect your kid from failing because failures are important.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you want to be like, hey, if you fail, make sure you fail from going 100%. Don't fail from just giving up or not trying.
Yeah, going through the motions.
Right? But here's the problem, though. Here's another problem that's sad. Is your kids, this is to all the people that got kids, your kid is going to watch you lay on your back and fail every day, or they're going to watch you fight as hard as you can. And they're watching every fucking thing you do, everything you say. There's nothing you can do to hide from your child, because once your child's cognitive abilities start to grow enough where things start to really sustain in their mind, they know my mom's a fucking quitter. Mm-hmm. They know my mom's a hard worker. They know mom's not bringing these sorry ass men in the household.
Yeah.
You know, my mother went and found a decent man to help raise me, even if my biological father stepped out. You know, they look at these things and they know it. And they know these things sooner than parents think they do.
That's part of the reason I finished college is like some of those self-talks.
Right.
That I got from just watching my mom. There was times where her job requires her to wake up at maybe like 6 a.m. sometimes, 5 a.m. sometimes. Mm-hmm. And she was also working at what at the time was a Rabobank. Mm-hmm. She was working there like the Condors games after work, just trying to make ends meet. And sometimes I would be at school and I'd be like, man, I'm tired. I don't want to go. But now I'd be like, nigga, you better get up. Your mom was working 2 jobs just trying to when you was in high school or junior high, whatever the case may be, trying to pay the rent. So I got zero excuse. And it shapes me to be the person I am now, to where I sleep when I'm just tired, like dog tired. I don't have a regimen to where I could be like, oh, I'm gonna get in bed at 9:30 and make sure I wake up. It's like, no, when I am tired and I'm exhausted, that's when I will sleep. And that's like the type of, coming from seeing my mom, and she still works, that diligent to this day. But it's just like, I know I have a little bit more tools. And she almost gave me she put me in a position almost just by her keeping a roof over our head. So it's almost like my purpose to ensure that she didn't do all that in vain. Because if she worked 2 jobs and she waking up at 5 a.m. Monday through Friday and working on the weekends sometimes, and it's been times where she may have had like 1 day off in the course of like 3 weeks or something like that. If she did all of that only for me to just be a regular nigga out here, it's just like she might as well have not worked that hard. You know what I mean? So for me, it's to a fault almost. Like it can ruin relationships and can make your girlfriend mad or whatever the case may be. But that's in me, and it's just something that you have to deal with as far as and
the thing about it too is like, not only do you want to be accountable, not just for you or your family, but like it's a deeper level to this shit. Mm-hmm. Like if you're married and you got kids, like my wife's gonna know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm gonna go hard for my family. Mm-hmm. Period. And the thing about it, society does not respect men that don't go hard for their family. Oh, not like I got 2 daughters. Let's say I got 2 daughters, and I got a son or whatever. Like my daughters need to know from a first-handed example of what a man is supposed to do and how he's supposed to treat a woman. That's why I said the best way to empower a woman is to be a good father. You ain't.
They be acting like it's rocket science.
It's that, bro. Look, all you got to do is don't chase pussy. Don't put your hands on your wife. Make sure you take care of your family. Make sure you handle your business. Mm-hmm. If I feel the need to get mad, everybody going to get mad at their significant other, but I'm not going to be calling my wife bitches and shut up. I'm talking and none of that.
Get in the kitchen, woman.
Yeah, get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich.
That's always a go-to.
It's always a go-to. Get in there and make a sandwich. No pickles this time. Then you open the sandwich. Didn't I tell you about these goddamn pickles? Hey, yo, I'm not a big pickle fan, but the only pickles I low-key like are those Vlasic pickles.
What's that?
Bro, it's the pickles.
The longer ones?
Yeah, they not the real long ones, but they like crispy. Mm-hmm. Them motherfuckers is good on a sandwich.
Yeah.
Bruh, they got the little, it's like some type of bird is on the side of it.
I know what you're talking about.
They used to have commercials back in the day. Vlasic pickles. Them is the only, and it's like they sandwich pickles, bro.
Yeah, the fire. I think we're talking about the same ones. Obviously, they have like the circular ones. They have like the crinkle ones. They have different.
I ain't talking about them big ass ones that be floating in that water. Oh,
I haven't had a pickle in a while.
Those
but
are
I don't
nasty.
hate them. I don't
like them. Not them, especially the ones that you go to like the little corner stores and they got that big old thing just
jar.
floating.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. I used to smack some of those.
Really, they look like it's in a big floating in a big pickle toilet.
Yeah,
it's like oh
yeah, it looked like it was an experiment or something.
Yo, no, this is the thing that's funny. Nobody would eat black kids and Mexican kids, especially growing up, be eating the most wild shit, bro. I remember I was this little black kid. I think his name was Tyrone, I think. But he used to get them big pickles and he would dip them in Kool-Aid and eat them.
That's
the Mexican kids would get the pickles and they break up hot Cheetos and stick it in the Cheetos and eat them.
Them niggas is crazy. That's not like a Fear Factor experiment.
Yeah. Are y'all tired?
All right, guys, you have 2 minutes to crunch this pickle up.
Like, are y'all tired of eating chemicals? Are y'all tired of eating chemicals? Come on, black and brown people. We got to stop eating so much bullshit.
That's funny.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Pickles, they got to be like placed right. But I know there's some. So they have like the more sour ones, the tart ones.
Yeah.
And then obviously have the other end. It's like super sweet. But there's one like right in the middle that's perfect for like a sub sandwich.
Yes.
Like you'll get the sub.
It's in vinegar, I think. It's in vinegar, I think.
But it's like it's a more harsher, salty one that you could get. But it's one that's like right in the middle.
Yes.
And it's like a longer one that fits perfectly in the sub
and
sandwich.
when you bite it, it's got the crispiness to it.
Yeah,
It's
fire.
like, I don't know
Fire.
how y'all did this.
Sometimes it has the seeds in there. You mess with the seeds?
Nah.
In the longer ones, they be having the seeds in the middle.
Oh, the little ones. Oh, yeah. But you can't really like taste them like that.
No, they super soft, but it's like a slight crunchiness to it. But yeah,
You know what? You know who put me onto those? My grandpa, man.
Really?
Rest in peace. Yeah, Sidney Tolliver, man. My grandpa back in the day, he had like a little jar sitting on there, and it was like, you know how like older people got like old school shit they be eating, and he had like a little jar of those Vlasic pickles.
Yeah.
And I was eating a sandwich, and I guess he slammed some up in there, and I ate it, and I was like, whoa,
This is fire.
yeah, like it's certain things that I don't eat out on my own, but I ate them with my family. Like black eyed peas. I love black eyed peas.
You gotta cook them right.
Oh my God, they taste so good.
Fire. I don't. Black eyed peas is like low key underrated.
Super underrated.
Yeah. Black eyed peas and then white beans. I used to smack the white beans.
I ain't never white beans. What's that?
You never mess with the white beans?
What do you mean?
Like it's they just white beans. It's like, you got pinto beans and
They're not called white beans though. Really? Oh wow.
I don't know if that's a scientific name for it, but
What
they're literally white though.
White beans?
They more like black people would cook them as like part of like the soul food experience or whatever. But with like some cornbread or like you might throw some.
Not lima beans.
I don't think they lima beans.
Not
I think
lima.
that's different.
That's
But
different.
lima beans is a little bigger, right?
I think so.
The white beans are almost like pinto beans, but just the same size and everything, but they white.
It's all kind of. I done had all kinds, and then there's some beans that's not really beans. They like flat, like lentils.
Oh,
But-
you like lentils?
Nah, I don't.
Lentils
But
is
I guess
disgusting.
in Spanish it's lentejas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had them before.
My girl be cooking lentils.
Really?
Disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them.
It's a bean, pretty much. Like if you cook it and doctor it up enough, it's gonna taste okay. But just they small, it's not a good experience.
Yeah.
But white beans is fire, like with some cornbread or like you might dip some like ham hocks or whatever. to
Hot
flavor
water
it up.
cornbread or regular cornbread?
It's funny. My cornbread experience was I had like two sides of the spectrum because my dad's side of the family, like my great grandma, she was from Texas.
Oh,
So she has a whole different like way of cooking food. And then my grandma, my mom's mom, she from LA and primarily grew up in like Tulare and Visalia. So the way she would cook, it was like two different experiences. Like my grandma would make just the regular cornbread and primarily like the Jiffy box. Like she'll throw that together. But my dad's grandma, my dad's grandma, my great grandma, she would make the hot water cornbread. But I would like, you get the best of both worlds because obviously it's a little bit sweeter, the Jiffy stuff, but the other stuff is still fire.
Bruh, I'm gonna tell you something, bruh. My aunt made this a few times. Shout out to my aunt Annette. my aunt made hot water cornbread with spaghetti though, right? But the way she made her spaghetti was you put a little bit of it's like a little bit of spicy tomato sauce on it. It obviously had beef and it had peppers and stuff cut up in it. It's like black people's spaghetti.
Yeah.
But she made it with that hot butter cornbread on the side. Bruh, cornbread and spaghetti together, bro, undefeated.
Really?
That's like the blackest shit ever. But it is bomb.
It don't sound like it would go together, but it might smack.
It does. You get a fork full of that hot water cornbread with spaghetti.
And you eating it simultaneously? Or you dipping it in there or what?
I'm just eating it together, man. Oh my God. You know, it's funny. Now it's going to be like non-black people. They're going to be asking black folks like, hey, have you ever heard of hot water cornbread?
Yeah, you got to stop doing that. Don't ask me about no food.
Don't
Don't ask me about no pickles crushed up in hot Cheetos.
Some of the listeners, they're going to find that one black friend they know and be like, hey, what's up, DeShante? Have you ever heard of hot water cornbread? DeShante will be like, yeah, I heard of that. So, like, do you eat it every day or?
Yeah. Have you ever had a hoe cake?
I believe so. It's a little round. What is it? What is the hoe cake?
It's the best way I could describe it is like a thick biscuit almost.
Wow.
So it's pretty easy to make. You just need I think like some Crisco, some self-rising flour. Yeah. At the end of it, you're gonna need a doctor, and maybe a gym membership. But no, it's like the Crisco. I forget which. It's not the oily version. It's like the kind of paste. That you need some self-rising flour, and then you need some whole milk. And then basically all you do is mix all of that together and you put it in a cast iron skillet.
Wow.
And you just bake. You could bake it sometimes. You know, my grandma would have like these things that she probably got 30 years ago. But it was like a pan, but you could plug it into the wall. So I don't even know.
I know what it is.
Yeah,
like a hot plate almost.
Yeah, basically. So she could cook it in that, or she just you could throw it in the oven with the skillet or whatever, and then it just bubble up, and it's like you don't need no flavor, you don't need a salt or whatever. Whatever the Crisco is just all the flavors, and obviously the milk adds some flavor to it. But you could eat it however. You could throw some butter on it. It's one of those things where you could eat it with any sort of meal or any sort of flavor. So if you have say you got like some breakfast food as far as like sausage, gravy, and all that, you throw it in there with that. It's solid. If you got like some more fruity stuff going on, like maybe some jam or something like that, you could throw it on there. So it's definitely fire.
Yeah, that's dope. You know, it's funny. I don't know if everybody's grandparents are like this, but at least in black culture, black older people have old pans and pots and plug-in things into the wall that have been discontinued for like 60 years.
Yeah. A cast iron skillet is still like you can't replicate how well it cooks certain things with anything else. Like you can get all the fancy, diamond coated skillets and all that, but that cast iron skillet is undefeated.
Yeah, and it's been passed down for like 7 generations.
Yeah, I'm still trying to inherit my mom's.
Yeah, cast iron skillet, man. I bet you if you like read the markings on it and find out how old it is, you'd be like, whoa.
Yeah.
It'd be like 1952.
My grandma got these, they call them school pans, but I don't know how she inherited these things, but they're these big, and she would cook like big old macaroni and cheese like for like Thanksgiving and stuff.
Hold on. Was they like, they had like this big lid that go on top? And
the lids is gone. We don't got those anymore. Lids is long gone. Rest in peace. But literally the school, like they would call them school pans, and I never even connected the dots. Okay. I thought it was just a name for them, like school pans. Yeah. But they are literally pans. They call it school pans because she got them from whatever elementary school or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the stuff like, at lunchtime where
the big metal ones.
Yeah.
Those.
And
I know
she baking in those and cooking all kind of
What?
stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, you can't buy them at the store.
You can't buy those at the store.
Yeah.
You got to go to like an industrial
Wow.
website or something.
I thought you were talking about them other Tupperware or the other things that black folks got. Like it's a big like oval pan with a lid that go on top, and you could put a bunch of other pans inside of it.
No, not that. This mug is literally we all been to school, so whatever.
Yeah, I already know.
The pans that was sitting in the school lunch line or whatever, she got those at her house.
They used to cover them like in foil. Well, no. Actually, those pans had a lid.
They had lids on them. Yeah,
they had a little sliver, like a metal lid that went on top.
Because they would put almost any and everything, and even if they was cooking like a bunch of burritos, they'd stick the lid on top of those and just throw them out, roll them out. So yeah,
man, them school lunches, man, don't get me started on those.
That was a classic. That was a classic conversation.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I remember. There's a couple things we used to get made there. They used to make, but we had. We could make burritos too. We could make them fat back then.
Really?
Oh yeah, we
had VHS.
Oh yeah, back in 2001, 2002. But they had the nacho line. That was a nacho line. I think they also had those burgers and chicken sandwiches that came in that little. They got wrapped in that little aluminum foil looking wrapper.
The chicken sandwich. Yeah.
Those, and then you had the nacho line was on the far right. And then they had the chicken sandwiches and the burgers with fries. But for some reason, the fries was never crispy. They was always
soft,
limp.
Yeah.
All the fries would be in the fucking bag like this.
Have you ever almost choked on fries?
What do you mean?
Like when I would eat those limp fries, if I didn't chew it well enough, it would be like 5 seconds that I thought I was gonna die.
Wow.
Like when you just swallow the fries down, it takes so long to go down your esophagus that it's a moment in there where you can't breathe at all.
Yeah, on the fries and the big bag that they pour them out on, it just say poor fries. For poor kids.
If you don't have, for me, if I didn't have no milk or something, I would have to pray for like 3 seconds, just be like, Lord, please let this food digest.
Yeah. It'd be like, now that I walked in the valley of shadow of death, I fear no evil. If I die before I wake.
Yeah.
That's a trip, man. We drank milk every fucking day, man.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Can't do that now. I wouldn't be able to do a podcast if I drank milk every day. I'd be somewhere on somebody's toilet. That's what I'd be doing.
I'm still not lactose, thank God.
Yeah, I pretty much am. Like I can eat cheese, but milk fucks me up.
Yeah, I have. It's certain things like I mess with the. I don't drink or consume milk that much in general. Like I do the almond milk primarily.
Oh yeah.
But it's certain things that just don't. Like I just gotta have it with the whole milk. Like if I'm eating some sort of like breakfast type of pastry or something like that, or like a brownie or something like that, I have to have the OG. I have to have the OG milk.
I mean, I got some almond milk that I tried for the first time, and I think it might be the best almond milk I've ever had.
What brand is that?
Simply.
Simply.
You know, Simply makes those juice. They make
the orange juice.
Yeah, well, they make orange
and
juice,
cranberry juice, and all
shit
that
like that. Yeah, but they make almond milk now.
Oh, they getting into the race?
Oh man, that almond milk I got unsweetened.
Yeah,
but it has just a small hint of
a natural,
like a natural sweetness with it's no sugar in it, and it just tastes. And the smell of it is like, oh my god,
dang.
It's like an intoxicating smell.
What do you normally get the silk?
No, I get almond breeze.
Almond breeze,
and I've mixed
almond breeze. The taste is really good.
Yeah, almond breeze is really good, but like this fucking Simply one, and with the almond breeze, they sell in gallons now. They're the only ones.
Oh yeah. It's the white.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom be having that.
Oh, your mom's on that now? Yeah, that whole milk. The whole milk is basically like eating ice cream. That's why you got to stay away from it. It's just too much fat in it. Too much sugar and shit.
That's why I do it sparingly. Like if the meal for me requires that nostalgia and just that taste that I really, really want, I just bust it down with the.
Yeah, with me, I mean, the only thing I'm going to get a nostalgic value from is me on the toilet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get it.
Yeah.
Yo, man. Yeah. But switching gears, we'll close it out here soon. Where we at, man?
138.
138. All right, this will do here. All right, switching gears. Biden's proposed tax plan. I'm not sure how many people are aware of what Joe Biden is trying to get people to do, but here it is. Report Biden's IRS plan would allow surveillance of small bank accounts, Venmo, PayPal, and crypto. The average U.S. citizen wants to know why President Joe Biden plans to allow the IRS to snoop into bank accounts, Venmo, PayPal, and crypto transactions, among other things. The Biden administration says the type of surveillance is needed to prevent tax evasion. A key pillar of Biden's... get the fuck out of here. Right. A key pillar of Biden's proposed plan to pay for the Democrats' $3.5 trillion budget plan is to monitor money going in and out of individuals' bank accounts. I just think you want people's money, bro. That's all it is.
Yeah, of course.
You just want it. Bank accounts, Daily Mail reported. Under Biden's proposal, banks would be required to report to the IRS every deposit and withdrawal from an account in order to target audits. The plan would most mainly affect the self-employed who self-report their income deductions. The wealthy could also be targeted. No, the wealthy won't really be targeted in that way because they're already targeted, for one. And two, they know the tax codes and loopholes to how to protect themselves. But
go with that, not to cut you off, $600 has nothing to do with wealthy people.
At all.
They cash in $300,000 checks and stuff. Like $600 is affecting the regular person.
It's affecting us.
Yeah.
Like me and Keith we pay for things that cost more than $600.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like this is all I'm going to do. If they really try to push this through and it works, I'm going to be sending a lot of deposits for $200 a piece.
Yeah.
You got me fucked up, dude. I feel like as an American, you shouldn't be in my fucking pockets like that. That's bullshit. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Honestly, shout out to the people that do some business under the table. I don't feel like you should have to report everything. Fucking thing that you do.
That's so trash.
That is, the government should not be allowed to dip and dive into everything. This is like, I ain't that liberal. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I lean left, but not this goddamn left. This shit is ridiculous. You got me fucked up.
I'm curious to see what the super liberal people have to say about this, because the problem that you're always going to run into when you're this extremist version of whatever party, you're going to run into these kind of things, these kind of situations where it's not really political, right? No. But because you consider yourself a Democrat or super liberal, and it's, big government and all this kind of stuff, the government, being in tune with everything we got going on. What do you have to say about that, especially for these people? And there's certain businesses that are more aligned with being a liberal. Yeah. You may sell like
cupcakes,
vegan soaps or something like that.
Soaps.
Yeah.
Or you could be making a great living. You can say vegan prep meals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Vegan meals. I'm sure you would probably deem yourself as a Democrat, right? But what happens when Joe Biden is like, hey, that sale you did where it was actually cash, but you didn't necessarily report it. When you deposit that, we need to know exactly where all that is going. Yeah, you just bought a new, cash register for your business. We need to know exactly what's going on with that. Like, what does the liberal person have to say about that when they always have the tax the rich thing going on and all this kind of stuff?
Right.
So
I'll tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen is a lot of the extremely liberal people who are also entrepreneurs, they're going to start adopting a lot of the right-wing tactics to protecting their business.
They may move to the other side.
Like, well, I just decided to move to Texas because it was just a little bit fresher and you motherfucking liar.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they was killing your ass in California. You got up out of here. Because I know some people many people that I know that have left and went to Texas are more like right-leaning people who live in California. If you are a conservative in California, you might as well leave.
Yeah, it's getting ugly out here, bro.
You might as well get up out of here,
I'm about to move next to Joe Rogan myself.
Yeah, you might as well get up out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it, though, man, is I don't agree with this at all. And I feel like, especially as a podcast where you know, we will have options of, you know, selling certain items, whether it's merch or, you know, donations from people or whatever. And we could have some extremely generous people that are donating. You know, some dude donates $1,000, and I'm like, man, I appreciate it, but I have to report this.
You have to report, man. So
Man, y'all just gonna have to get me.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But even like under a certain threshold, you don't even have to report it. It may be like $10,000 or $20,000 or something like that. So, you know, if you're making $20,000 under the table, or, you know, and don't quote me on this, it's somewhere around there. But if you're making that under that threshold, you good game. You ain't got to report it. You ain't got to pay taxes on it, nothing. But if you go over that, then that's when it turns into like more of a legit business. But basically what he's saying is like, if you make $1,000 off the cuff of doing whatever, and you may say I got equipment in here, say like we upgrade this laptop or something and I sell it, because it's like maybe like $1,200 or something what I bought it for. It may sell for like $900. You telling me I sell my laptop that has nothing to do with nothing? Yeah, and you gonna monitor that? You didn't
do anything to help me acquire this shit.
The government ain't done. The government did a little bit for me. Food stamps.
Yeah, it's like, motherfucker, no.
But if you want to get into who did what for who, you know, we can have that conversation.
Yeah, the thing about it too is the same motherfuckers that want more money from you are just committing so many white collar crimes.
Of course.
These motherfuckers are going on trips, embezzling money. Motherfuckers are lobbyists and shit.
Yeah.
And you want to get in the pockets of a motherfucker like me? You got me fucked up. Stay out of my pocket.
These politicians, they don't understand, like, a lot of these politicians will never be broke or in poverty.
No, they're career politicians.
They're politicians. So as much as, you know, I was telling you, AOC lived in this kind of New York apartment and, you know, it was kind of small and whatnot. In no way, shape, or form is she ever going homeless. A lot of us be like one paycheck away from living. A lot of us be one paycheck away from walking by a Trucker's Mind podcast and yelling the most heinous stuff while we doing a podcast. You know what I mean? So basically, I'm saying, like, a lot of us is on the fringe of being homeless and having mental health issues.
Yeah. I don't think you really clarified that last statement. You mean like the people that yell during the podcast?
Yeah.
So we're like one paycheck away from having mental illness and screaming while someone's recording.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just for the people that did not.
Just for clarity.
Didn't get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not okay. It's not fair. And it's not okay to be nickeling and diming us. And this whole wanting to tax people extra, motherfucker, we already don't know where the money's going, and now you want us to take more of our money? Fuck you. No. You
can't. What they don't realize is, like I said, and you know, I was joking partially, but it's real. Like, the more we barely making it out here. You know what I mean? It's people just scraping together a little bit of money. I was saying earlier, my mom was working like 2 jobs. So imagine like all the transactions that was going into her account are being like micromanaged or whatever the case may be. And she got to pay more taxes on top of the money that she was getting from certain places. But it's just like, dog, like we not making it while cheating the system, according to y'all. So what's going to happen when y'all monitoring every transaction that is going into our bank account?
Bro, it's just weird that we don't know. There's no paper trail. We don't know what we're paying for when you're taxing us already.
Yeah.
We don't. At least if you're going to fuck us, at least give us the option of where we could just send our money to.
At least use some lube.
Yeah, right? Something. But like, it's crazy how you want more and we don't even have enough transparency. Where the fuck is it going, dude? Because what's crazy is if you paying more money as a business owner or whatever, I'm going to start getting real particular. Like, oh, hey, it's this street by my house. They still ain't fixed that pothole.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they are asking transparency from us, but not on the other end.
Yeah, like motherfucker, we want to know where the shit's going. I want you to have a direct. You need to send me monthly motherfucking statements of what kid I fed in the other country or whatever the fuck the money's going. I need to know where it's at. If not, then hey, if you motherfuckers do not have more transparency of where that money's going, I guarantee you there will be more people doing not legit stuff to protect them to save their money. And I'm on the side of the people, not the government. Because the government is just trying to do some shady legal shit because they create the law. Even though the law could be something that's imposing on the people, they don't give a fuck.
The thing about it, what I'm thinking about, so there's extremely rich people.
Right.
There's some people that are just stingy, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're just like, man, this is my money. I'm going to keep everything. And then, so there's extremely rich people, and then there's like, you know, really, really broke people.
Yeah.
I feel like in terms of like the really broke people, I think they need a little bit of leeway. Like, you know, obviously they're paying taxes relative to like how much money they're making and stuff like that. But it might be more beneficial for them to pocket a little bit more of that money. You know what I mean? But as far as like the extremely rich people, I think that's an entirely different conversation as far as like what we should do with those people. And not necessarily like, not the tax the rich ideology, because we just had a conversation about it. But it's just like, when it comes to like, who should we tax? They have more to offer, you know what I mean, versus like some of the poor people. So I say that now, but when I get extremely rich, I want the things to reverse.
Yeah. If I'm in the top 1%, I'm trying to enjoy my money.
Yeah.
I'm going to find every tax loophole, every tax code to make sure I ensure that I have more money. And you could call me a selfish prick, but I grew up poor, homie.
Yeah.
So like you can't guilt trip me, motherfucker. I grew up eating government cheese, you son of a bitch. Okay? I won't feel bad about having $5-10 million.
Can't. Because like I said before, you know how many things had to go right, how many hours we put into podcasting and preparation and all this type of stuff. How much money we also invested in, you know, to this. So.
Yeah. If I'm doing the work, I feel like as an American, if I'm doing the work to acquire a lifestyle and a position for me and my family, and you already have your hands in my pocket, and you feel like you want to do it more, I'm gonna have to tell you to back off because it's already not okay. Like here's the thing: this is why Biden won't get reelected too. Not only because he's old, but because some of the shit that he is doing is not gonna get him reelected. Even like left-leaning people like me and Keith is like, come on, dog. Like the best we could do is Biden.
When you're making everybody mad, I would be curious to see what AOC has to say about this. But she's probably gonna say the politically correct thing, like, oh, I'm with the full transparency. You can look at my bank accounts and all this kind of stuff. You can see how much I spent on this dress.
Don't nobody want to get taxed more, bro. I don't give a fuck who you are.
That sounds crazy.
Nobody.
That's the American way, though. Like not finding loopholes. That's America. That's how, you know, the conversation I had earlier about real estate. That's a loophole that people have found. Like getting an FHA loan, living in it for 1 year, then renting it out and moving to another space. That's a loophole that people have found, and they just popularized it with the Grant Cardones and all these different people. But that's the American way, just finding loopholes. So it's just like they're trying to close all the loopholes. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah, the American way is getting over. Yeah. Like literally the whole idea of owning land is so wild. Imagine the very first person ever that was like, hey, I own this land. You have to pay me to get it. And it's like, you didn't do nothing to get this land, motherfucker. What the fuck? Yeah. But you own it. So everyone is basically trying to get over and do something, not even get over, but they're just trying to optimize their earning potential. Yeah. I don't see a problem. As long as you're not doing something to inconvenience other people, I don't have a problem with you making as much money as you want. Like if you're not bringing harm to people's lives, I'm not tripping. Because you, like, for example, even like Apple, you think, like we talked about the phones. Apple doing a lot of harm to people. You got literal child slaves making those goddamn phones. Fucking Nike, you got kids in sweatshops making them soccer balls. Right? See, that's the thing. You need to be after them motherfuckers, not after people like me and Keith. Yeah. Go talk to the fucking Nike. But you won't talk to Nike because those type of companies, a lot of those companies don't even be paying like these mega churches don't pay taxes. Yeah. Well, that's their nonprofits. Nonprofit, my ass. Have you seen what kind of church? What's his name? The white guy with the weird eyes. What's the pastor's name?
The white guy with weird eyes.
Yeah, the white guy that he's really like he's almost like
Joel Osteen.
Yeah, he's like almost like Ned Flanders. Yeah, Joel Osteen. That mega church he had, and then when Louisiana had the flood. He was like hesitant. He's like, I don't want to let you niggas in my church. Wait a minute.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I just think I think instead of trying to, because what happens a lot is we try to conform to what the government wants, right? As far as like liberals, we're kind of like everything that these liberal officials say is Bible. So Joe Biden wants to monitor people's bank accounts, then let's do it.
No,
I think that
hell no.
they should actually start thinking for themselves
Right.
and realize that there's nothing wrong with what these rich people are doing with their taxes. Like, they're not paying taxes because they found some sort of loopholes and they're keeping more of their money. And you as a Democrat, wherever you are in California or whatever the case may be, if you're not paying taxes as well, or you're finding some sort of loopholes, you can keep more of that money.
Right,
and
you worked for.
Yeah, you work for it. You can spend it on whatever you want to. You can provide more for your family, whatever the case may be, instead of chastising those people.
Right, not to mention, like, I voted for Barack in both of his elections. But what's funny is when Trump paid like $700 or something, he did that under the Obama administration under those tax codes.
Tax breaks, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, yo, like, everybody trying to get money out here. I'm sure Obama doing well for himself. He ran the bag up when he got out of office. He ran the bag up,
and he not his stuff is not so public anymore. So I'm sure Joe Biden the same way. If he don't end up getting reelected, whenever his term is up, he probably gonna do a book tour and go on some talk shows and give some speeches and stuff. And he probably gonna run.
The only reason why Biden won is because of Trump's failure to properly deal with the COVID. Mm-hmm. He was a COVID denier, right?
I don't think that's all. I think that also there was a huge rebellion against Trump in general. Like, it was a COVID thing, but just overall, like, there were a lot of people that didn't even show up to vote when that first time when Hillary and Donald Trump were running. Yeah. And it was just like, it was so much, it was promoted so heavily as far as like, go out there and vote. Every celebrity, every conversation was about voting and all this kind of stuff. So it was just like.
It was a lot of other shit, obviously, to get Trump out of there. But I think, like, everybody, even Democrats, nobody was just super excited. Like, I'm voting for Biden. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't excited about.
Nobody was. We, like, a lot of liberals, we only voted for Biden to get Trump out. Yeah. And now we got Biden's dumbass in, and he about to be gone in 4 years. He is not getting reelected. One, he's too old, and two, he just draws blanks, dude. You ever see him just talking? Mm-hmm. He'll be like, in order to protect yourself from hurricanes, get vaccinated. I was like, what the fuck did you just say? He really said that, but to add more context to it, he said that because to protect yourself from the hurricanes or whatever, get vaccinated because they will have people in close quarters, and if you're vaccinated, it will protect you from COVID.
He just missed like a sentence in between.
He missed a sentence, and it made him look like he said, protect yourself from the hurricanes with the vaccine. And everybody's like, what the fuck did he just say? This is like only a few days ago he said this shit. That's crazy. Like, come on, man.
Nigga Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, dude, he can. How old is he now? 78, 9?
I think 78.
Yeah, he's not crazy. Yeah, and I think Trump ain't coming back either, bro.
Trump about to make a lot of money just chilling.
Just chilling. He ain't coming back because he's gonna be too old. Mm-hmm. They both too old. I don't even know who running, but I just thought about it. Who could possibly run in the next election, and it'll be the first time this ever happened. Believe it or not,
Lil Nas X.
Nah. Believe it or not, as far as right wing like pundits, Candace Owens holds a lot of weight with right leaning people. Imagine if Candace Owens ran and Kamala Harris. It'd be the first time two black women running for president.
Well, the reason why Candace Owens, I think she has a fair shot, just running on that whole conservative agenda. Mm-hmm. But if she was smart enough, she would do a little bit more like middle leaning stuff to capture a few black women, because
Yeah.
we would, as black people and as black women for sure, we want to support our own, right? But she just so disrespectful towards her own community
Yeah, that's
that
true, yeah.
nobody cares what she has to say.
Yeah, yeah.
But if she just ran as a Republican, but then just kind of did a little bit of middle leaning stuff here and there to kind of capture those people that don't really know who they want to vote for,
Right.
Or just kind of I guess ignite that. There's already a small group of black Republicans already.
Yeah.
Ignite those they have like Black Voices for Trump and all these little small sectors.
Yeah,
Ignite those
Brexit.
people to where they getting out and they showing up to colleges and all this kind of stuff, and trying to change people's minds. She can win, but
I feel like the only people that matter to me are middle-leaning people, not liberals or conservatives. The reason why is when you really don't have much of a political affiliation, you tend to look at things objectively. Like, I could look at Biden and tear him apart for the shit he's not doing. But I don't know a lot of liberals that do that. And I don't know a lot of conservatives that tore down Trump for what he was doing. There's not enough people. People just tend to, like I mentioned earlier, you got to poke holes in the things you believe in. And most people do not poke holes in the things they believe in. They just full-fledged believe them, and they live in the echo chamber. They stay there, and they do whatever the party line is telling them to do.
Yeah.
But if a president came out and he had right and left leaning values, he would speak to a lot more people. Like if you have somewhat of, liberal beliefs, but you also believe in the Second Amendment, you also believe in smaller government, but you also believe in, helping underserved communities. You could believe in more than one thing. I don't get why people don't believe, get it.
Yeah.
Multiple things you can believe in without having to be labeled as a liberal or conservative. Because, I could say, I'm liberal, but I'm, fiscally conservative. But at the same time, I don't even want to say that. I just have a way I feel about shit. I don't even want to put a label on it.
I think that in maybe in our lifetimes, I think that there might be a flip as far as who black people start to vote for. Just because the way I see things moving, obviously a lot of black people are Christian, right? So a lot of the liberal ideology, it doesn't necessarily align with how we are raised.
That's true.
But also the liberals are only getting more liberal.
Yeah, it's getting
as far as Joe Biden's, his whole bank account thing that he's trying to do. There may be somebody that's they voted for every liberal or every Democratic officer and president, over the course of however many 30, 40 years of life, right? And then I just think that it's just going to keep getting more and more extreme. We're starting to see, things as far as different trans agendas popping up. Different, especially the taxes and all this kind of things. I think it's going to be some liberals that maybe live in LA. They may live in a middle class neighborhood, and they I'm just tired of all of this nonsense. The only problem that the Republicans have is that part of the way they run is being a little bit racist.
Yeah, there's definitely some
undertones of racism that kind of go, especially with Donald Trump, is the good old boys and all this kind of stuff. He was kind of catering to these people and rallying them up as far as getting them out there to vote.
The choice of words he was using was galvanizing the wrong people, and I think he knew it. But I think that even if we can't say that Trump was racist, we could say that he was willing to bargain racism in order to win an election.
Yeah, for sure.
Because some of the shit, some of the, if this was the old days, we would have drug him out of here or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's bro, you can't say shit like that. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I think it was a black dude that they was pulling out of there too.
Yeah.
Hey man, you can't
say that.
You can't say shit like that.
So my point is a lot of the politics of Republicans don't bother black people as much.
Right.
But I think the problem that a lot of us have, especially middle-leaning people have, is the tone of the way they speak. Like you
Yes.
have like the Ben Shapiro's and you know the Donald Trumps and all these political pundits that
Hannity and shit.
they say things that are not welcoming for us. But if
Yeah.
there was somebody that ran on the like as far as like a Republican agenda, and they removed all of that kind of divisive lingo, they may be able to capture some of those middle-leaning black people, and then the more and more black people go over there, they might be like, oh, it's actually not that bad over there.
Yeah, you got to change the face. You have to change the face of conservative leadership as far as black people, and then it's going to be more people coming over there. Like if it's a dude that's like a business owner, you know, if he has a story of, you know, I grew up like this, you know, this, that, and the third. I have conservative values based on this, this, and this. And then he just ran based off of certain stuff, and he didn't try to like force. Who knows? Who knows? I've never thought I would see especially now, like a conservative black president. I don't know about that.
I think just the more I grow, and I was driving the other day and I seen this this black dude, or I don't know if they were black, but the sticker on the car.
Larry Elder? No, I'm playing. I said Larry Elder.
Oh no, but it was like they had like a Trump flag, and then it was like a Black Voices for Trump sticker on the car. And I seen it, and generally, you know, as a younger me, I would get like, come on, dog, like y'all some Uncle Toms and all this kind of stuff. But I thought about it, I was like, well, part of it, the reason why it feels so bad, or it used to feel so bad, is the whole self-hate aspect of it. And I do think Candace Owens says a lot of like self-hate stuff.
Yeah, some bullshit.
Which is very annoying. But then I just started to think about it more. I'm like, yo, like, if it came down to the politics, I don't care. I don't wholeheartedly believe in anything on either side, right? So as far as like, you know, the Democratic side, there's some stuff I don't necessarily agree with, and there's some things on the Republican side I don't necessarily agree with. But then I'm also thinking like, well, I'm probably a Democrat, or I vote Democrat primarily because I grew up poor. You know, because the whole government assistance, and you know, and also it's just what we are supposed to do. But when you start to grow and you start to look at you know, the world, take it for what it is, and then you also start to think like where I want to go, then you really start questioning like, yo, why am I really voting Democrat? Is it just because it's what I'm supposed to do? Is it because I'm black? Is it just because, you know, the government assistance, or these type of the different things that they want to do to help people out in underserved communities and stuff like that? And then you kind of get past that, then you really start to, you know, see like, what is it really I'm doing here? And then you start to look at the other side, and then you understand that they're part of them running, or part of them galvanizing a group of people is to have those undertones of disrespect towards certain communities, build a wall. You know, if you're that was Joe Biden, as far as if you black, vote for me, or whatever the case may be. But you know, certain things that Donald Trump said, I did more for the black community, and all these kind of like undertones of like disrespect, you know, disrespectful things. But then you're like, yo, if it just came on paper, like what do we actually care about on paper outside of like the disrespect and stuff like that? Then you're like, dang, like, man, maybe if they weren't so disrespectful towards black people, more people might actually go over there.
But people can't quantify that statement, though. What they'll do is they'll be like, how is he disrespectful towards blacks? If anything, he's done more for blacks since Martin Luther King. People just repeat things without even researching what they're talking. It's like, dog, don't say that, please.
Yeah.
What the hell was that? There's a bottle. It's a chair?
Yeah.
You can put some WD-40 on that motherfucker.
It's a Costco chair.
It's like pow, pow, pow. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know how we got into a little political thing. Oh, yeah, Biden. But no, man. Yeah. We got to, I don't know, man. I'm done. I usually when we start talking about politics, my brain just takes a nosedive.
There you go.
Yeah. Where we at, man?
What, 207?
Let's go ahead and wrap this up. I think we've given the people a good show, man. Yeah. What do you guys think, huh? Have we given you a good show?
Make sure y'all subscribe, hit the notification bell so you notify whenever we drop podcasts.
Yeah. We're on YouTube now for all those that don't know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're going to hear the audio version because we have we have a pretty decent audio audience now.
Yeah.
And a lot of them probably don't realize we're on YouTube. So we are on YouTube at A Trucker's Mind Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. We only been on there For how many weeks now?
Like 7?
Like 7
8,
weeks.
something like that.
So
yeah.
we're still really new to YouTube.
Yeah, we're still new YouTubers.
We got a regular 1 camera setup right now because cameras are very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So hey,
people are expensive as well.
yeah, help us out, man. Help us out. Give us a like if we've earned it. Right? Don't like, share, or anything if you feel we haven't earned it. But if you feel we've earned it, like, share, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
If you made it to the end of this podcast, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to A Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
We're out of here.
Peace.